Now, the Nigerian equities market closed on a negative in yesterday's session. We saw losses in the likes of Dangote Cement, Guinness, and Ashaka Cement. For more on that market and how we can, on what might move the market in today's trading session, I am joined by Dolapo Akani. She's equities a broker at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. Dolapo, it's great to have you on the show. Of course, yesterday we saw gains still in the oil and gas sector. In the past 2 weeks or so, we've focused on that sector a lot. So first of all, your thoughts on how that sector is performing as a whole?
Good morning, Didi, and thank you for having me this morning. Looking at how the market traded yesterday, the index was down by 0.46%, though notably among the losers yesterday were the big counters, Dangote Cement, Nestle, Nigerian Berries. They were all down yesterday, though we still saw some gains, especially around the oil and gas sector. Total, MRS, they were up yesterday, and it wasn't just yesterday. Market has been up in those names in recent times. And the oil and gas sector yesterday also gained 2.93%, followed by the insurance sector that gained 1.83%, and the banking sector that also gained 0.85%.
Now, there's not been much mention of Total, as you said, which gained 1.9% yesterday. This year, that stock has gained 41%, which is not as much, of course, as the likes of Forte Oil, Conol, MRS, but it has still outperformed the all-share index. Are we likely to see more gains in Total going forward?
I think we might still see more gains. In the oil and gas sector, Total is still at top peak in that sector. And it's not unconnected to the valuation of that company. We have a buy recommendation, and our target price is 199 naira. Total has consistently improved on their earnings. They have done so much around improving their streams of income. We saw that they partnered with Etisalat, and that should improve their earnings going forward. Also, looking at that sector in general, the government is actually focusing on the oil and gas sector. So we feel in general that's a big one for Total.
Now let's talk about Owando. That stock has gone up 7.3% this week. Now, however, it hasn't performed very well this year. It's actually down 0.08%. So your thoughts on Owando's performance this year? It's a bit surprising because when we started the year, it looked like it was going to do well. So what are the prospects going forward?
We look at valuation beyond 2013 in Owando. That stock still look promising. There's some new projects that are still on board that by Q3 of 2014, by the time we account for all of that, it still looks positive for Owando. You can see that yesterday there was a turnaround in that stock. Investors are trying to get positioned because it has actually gone down in recent times. So we feel that when all these new projects, if you look at also the acquisition of ConocoPhillips asset, by the time all of that is accounted into their profitability, earnings will grow, and the company would perform well.
Definitely interesting to see what happens with Owando. Let's move on to banking stocks. Why don't you tell us your stock picks in that sector and why they are your stock picks?
Okay, we're still very bullish on GTB. GTB is on our top list in that sector. We have a target price of 29.95 naira. They came out with their Q3 results in 2013, and the earnings was very strong, and they're still a very cost-effective bank. So we still feel that looking at GTB, they're still they have a very good growth potential in that, and that would still help them going forward.
Now, no, go on.
Okay, next to that in that sector is Zenith Bank, though they had earnings cut in Q3 results of 2013. But we feel that they can withstand shock. Next to GTB is Zenith Bank. We feel that in Q4 there will be a lot of recovery for them, and even going into 2014, they would come out even stronger. In the tier 2 names, we like Diamond Bank. We have a target price of 7.95 naira. Also, we like Fidelity with a target price of FCMB with a target price of 5.13 naira.
Now, I mean, it's interesting that, everyone talks about the banking stocks, that's the sector to be in. But then when you look closely at, the way that sector has performed this year, let me give you some detail there. Zenith has gone up 17.9% year to date, GTB 15%, FBNH 0.29%, Access up 10%. So it looks like, generally speaking, these stocks have underperformed the all-share index. So does it look like the days where we could make huge gains in that sector are somewhat over?
A lot of things happened in the banking sector this year that investors actually viewed negative. But if you still look at the Q3 results that was released into the market, they're still broadly in line with expectation. We didn't get any shocker as to earnings really coming below our expectation. So we feel that if CRR was increased, if CBN is still, high up there regulating them, the liquidity for the 8 banks was also increased to 35%. With all of this happening in that sector, if profitability is still in line with what investors are looking at, that was discounted at the point when all of this information came into the market, and markets, were soft in those names. But even looking at it, you can see that investors are looking long term. They are buying beyond 2013, and if that's what you're really focused on doing, you will still invest in those names. So we see lookers asking for banking sector, though at sub-market levels, but if you still see block at the current level, you still see them pick up. So it does still seem like we're very, very future focused on all of these names.
Okay, Dolapo, now very quickly, what can we expect in today's trading session?
Okay, I don't expect anything different from what we've been experiencing from the beginning of the week. The big counters will still soften the more, and we'll still see buyers at sub-market levels, no doubt. And if they see blocks at the current levels, they will still pick up. I still feel that ASI might be down slightly today.